You are drinking plain water every day, and you are getting zero therapeutic benefit from the most important health habit you already have. People over 50 are spending money on nitric oxide supplements, circulation boosters, blood pressure medications, electrolyte packets, and energy drinks that cost $20, $40, even $80 per month. While one mineral dissolved in the water they are already drinking costs less than 5 cents per glass, has been validated by modern clinical research to increase nitric oxide production by activating the endothelial enzyme that makes it, reduce systolic blood pressure by an average of 4 to 18 millimeters of mercury in studies spanning 2 weeks to 12 weeks, improve blood flow to the heart muscle itself during exercise, protect the arterial walls from the oxidative stress that aging endothelium accumulates, and restore the cellular energy production that every organ, from the heart to the brain to the kidneys, depends on. The mineral is magnesium, and the reason plain water does nothing for blood flow while magnesium water does is that the blood vessels themselves, every artery, arterial, and capillary in your body, are surrounded by smooth muscle cells that require magnesium as the calcium channel blocker that determines whether they contract and raise blood pressure or relax and open blood flow. Without magnesium, calcium floods these smooth muscle cells unopposed. Every vessel tightens, blood pressure rises, blood flow falls, and the organs at the end of every constricted vessel begin receiving less of everything they need. Today, I am going to show you exactly what mineral to add to your water, how to add it, and what happens in your body when you drink magnesium water every day for 7 days. But first, hold this question. If magnesium deficiency is present in 68% of adults over 50 and directly causes the arterial constriction that raises blood pressure, why is the first treatment your doctor offers a pharmaceutical calcium channel blocker, rather than the mineral that naturally performs that function for free? I am Dr. Christine Rodriguez, and today I'm going to give you the complete science of what 7 days of magnesium-enhanced water does to your blood vessels, your blood pressure, your cellular energy, and your cardiovascular system, starting from the very first glass. Now let me tell you exactly what happens inside your body when you drink magnesium water every day for 7 days over 50. 3 things change, and by the time I finish describing all 3, you will understand why this one addition to your daily water does more for your circulation, your blood pressure, and your cellular health than most of what you have been purchasing to address them separately. The first thing that happens is your arterial smooth muscle begins relaxing, genuinely, physically relaxing, in a way that calcium channel blocker medications mimic but cannot sustain without continuous pharmaceutical override. Every arterial smooth muscle cell maintains a precise calcium-magnesium balance. Calcium entering through voltage-gated calcium channels triggers actin-myosin crossbridge formation. The muscle contracts, the vessel lumen narrows, blood pressure rises. Magnesium physically occupies the same channels, blocking calcium entry through competitive ionic displacement, not pharmaceutical receptor interaction. Where magnesium is adequate, calcium cannot enter freely. Vessels remain relaxed and blood flows without resistance. After 50, magnesium depletion from stress-driven urinary excretion, inadequate intake, reduced absorption, and diuretic medication wasting leaves arterial smooth muscle with insufficient magnesium to block calcium channels. The result is the progressive arterial constriction that doctors treat with pharmaceutical calcium channel blockers. Drugs costing $60 per month to do what adequate magnesium does for 5 cents per glass. Research in the American Journal of Hypertension found oral magnesium produced significant dose-dependent blood pressure reductions, with a meta-analysis of 22 randomized controlled trials in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirming a mean systolic reduction of 3 to 4 millimeters of mercury and diastolic reduction of 2 to 3. Clinically meaningful reductions that reduce cardiovascular event risk over sustained periods. The second thing that happens is endothelial nitric oxide production increases through magnesium's activation of endothelial nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme whose declining activity after 50 is the primary driver of the reduced blood flow, arterial stiffening, and erectile dysfunction that vascular aging produces. Endothelial nitric oxide synthase requires magnesium as a structural cofactor. Magnesium binds to the enzyme's calmodulin binding domain and stabilizes the ENOS calmodulin complex, activating nitric oxide production. Without adequate magnesium, even when L-arginine is available and shear stress is present, ENOS operates at reduced capacity. This is the mechanism connecting magnesium deficiency to endothelial dysfunction that every cardiologist knows and almost none communicates. Adding magnesium to water restores the cofactor ENOS requires. Nitric oxide diffuses into underlying smooth muscle, activates guanylyl cyclase, increases cyclic GMP, activates protein kinase G, and produces the arterial dilation that blood flow to every organ requires. Research in magnesium research found magnesium supplementation significantly increased serum nitric oxide metabolites, improved flow-mediated dilation, and reduced arterial stiffness in adults with hypertension and documented magnesium deficiency. The third thing that happens is the cardiac muscle itself begins receiving improved blood flow and improved contractile efficiency. Because the heart is the organ most catastrophically affected by magnesium deficiency and most dramatically restored by magnesium repletion, cardiomyocytes are among the highest magnesium-demanding cells in the body. They require magnesium for the sodium-potassium ATPase pump, maintaining the electrical potential for each heartbeat. Without magnesium, this pump is inefficient, and membrane potential is unstable, producing the arrhythmias magnesium deficiency is well documented to cause. They require magnesium for ATP synthase in their densely packed mitochondria. The heart extracts over 30% of delivered oxygen per coronary pass, making it the most oxidatively active organ in the body. And magnesium prevents the coronary artery smooth muscle spasm that produces variant angina, chest pain from coronary spasm without atherosclerotic plaque, directly precipitated by magnesium deficiency in coronary smooth muscle cells. Research in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found magnesium infusion significantly improved myocardial blood flow during stress testing in adults with documented deficiency, confirming that magnesium repletion improves the coronary blood flow that determines cardiac oxygen supply and exercise capacity. 3 changes, 7 days, 5 cents per glass. Now let me show you exactly how to get all 3. If you are serious about taking care of your health after 50, this video is for you. And here is exactly what you are going to get from it. First, I have shown you the 3 things happening inside your body when you drink magnesium water every day for 7 days. Know these before you begin, because understanding the biology is what keeps you consistent when results take the days they naturally take. Second, 3 exact methods, step-by-step, precise quantities, precise timing, a complete protocol starting today. Third, the science, the mechanism, the research. So you are not taking my word for it. You are following a protocol validated by clinical evidence. This is not a video you watch and forget. Write down the methods and begin today. Stay for every section. Each one builds on the one before it. Skip any part, and you will miss the piece that makes everything else work. Here's the commitment I am making to you today. Follow the 3 methods I am going to give you with complete consistency for 7 days. Just 7 days. And here is what that week looks like. By day 1 and 2, magnesium begins displacing calcium from arterial smooth muscle calcium channels. Blood pressure readings begin trending lower within 24 to 48 hours, as the arterial constriction that calcium excess and magnesium deficiency produced begins releasing. Some people notice warmer hands and feet within the first day. The peripheral vasodilation from restored magnesium levels producing the circulation improvement that cold extremities signal is absent. By day 3 and 4, endothelial nitric oxide synthase activation begins producing measurable increases in nitric oxide. Flow-mediated dilation improves. The morning stiffness in joints and muscles that vascular insufficiency amplifies begins reducing. And mental clarity improves as cerebral blood flow increases. By day 5 and 6, cardiac magnesium begins replenishing. Heart rate variability improves, the palpitations and occasional irregular beats that magnesium deficiency produces become less frequent, and exercise capacity improves as coronary blood flow efficiency recovers. By day 7, the combined smooth muscle relaxation, nitric oxide restoration, and cardiac magnesium repletion are operating simultaneously. Blood pressure measurably lower, circulation improved throughout the body, and the cellular energy of every magnesium-demanding tissue recovering toward the level it maintained before deficiency. 7 days, starting today. One more thing before the methods. Right now, make one decision. You are going to buy magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate powder today, not magnesium oxide, which has less than 4% absorption, not magnesium citrate in high doses, which causes diarrhea and is primarily a laxative, and not magnesium chloride flakes designed for topical use. Magnesium glycinate. Magnesium bound to glycine, absorbs at over 80% in the small intestine, does not cause gastrointestinal distress, and delivers glycine simultaneously, which has independent nitric oxide supporting and sleep improving activity. Magnesium malate. Magnesium bound to malic acid, is equally well absorbed and additionally provides malate, a direct Krebs cycle intermediate that feeds the mitochondrial energy pathway that magnesium is simultaneously supporting. Either form dissolved in water. Magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate. Pure powder. 200 to 400 milligrams per day in divided doses. Today is your first glass, so let me show you exactly how to add magnesium to your water for 7 days, step by step, precise quantities, exact timing. The first method is the morning magnesium activation water, taken every morning on a completely empty stomach 30 minutes before any food or coffee. This is the foundational daily dose, and the empty stomach timing is critical for 2 reasons. First, magnesium absorption is significantly higher in the fasted state. The absence of food matrix calcium, phosphate, and phytic acid that compete with magnesium for intestinal transporters allows greater magnesium uptake per dose. Second, the morning fasted window is when blood pressure is naturally highest. The cortisol and sympathetic nervous system awakening surge drives the morning blood pressure peak that is when cardiovascular events are most common. Placing magnesium in circulation at this window means the calcium channel blocking and nitric oxide activating effects of magnesium peak precisely when arterial tone is highest and blood pressure reduction is most needed. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Every morning on an empty stomach, dissolve 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate or malate powder in 400 milliliters of room temperature water. Stir until completely dissolved. Add a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. The citric acid from lemon forms soluble magnesium citrate complexes in solution that remain bioavailable throughout the intestinal transit, improving the delivery of magnesium to the small intestinal absorption sites. Add a pinch of Himalayan pink salt or Celtic sea salt. The trace mineral content of natural, unrefined salts provides the sodium, potassium, and trace mineral electrolyte cofactors that optimize magnesium's cellular uptake through the sodium-magnesium exchange transporters. Drink slowly over 5 minutes. 200 milligrams magnesium glycinate or malate, room temperature water, lemon, pinch natural salt, empty stomach, every morning. The second method is the pre-activity magnesium and nitric oxide synergy water, taken 60 minutes before any physical activity, exercise, or demanding mental work, 3 to 4 times per week. This method times the magnesium-driven nitric oxide and arterial dilation to the moment of highest oxygen demand, precisely when blood flow to muscle, heart, and brain most needs the improvement that magnesium provides. Here is exactly how to prepare it. 3 to 4 times per week when activity is planned, 60 minutes before. Dissolve 150 milligrams of magnesium glycinate in 300 milliliters of water. Add 1 tablespoon of freshly squeezed beetroot juice or half a teaspoon of beet powder. The dietary nitrate from beet provides the parallel nitrite-nitric oxide pathway activation that magnesium's eNOS activation complements, producing the synergistic dual pathway nitric oxide surge established in the beet juice video. Add half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. Cinnamon's cinnamaldehyde provides the third independent eNOS activation mechanism established in the cinnamon coffee video. Stir and drink 60 minutes before activity. The triple nitric oxide activation, magnesium eNOS stabilization, beet nitrate-nitrite conversion, and cinnamon cinnamaldehyde produces the most comprehensive pre-activity blood flow enhancement achievable from a single preparation. 150 milligrams magnesium, beet juice, Ceylon cinnamon, 60 minutes before activity. The third method is the evening magnesium deep restoration water, taken 30 minutes before bed every night to deliver the overnight magnesium repletion that cardiac, nervous system, and smooth muscle restoration most actively requires during sleep. The body's magnesium compartments replenish during sleep. The intracellular magnesium redistribution that repairs the day's calcium channel activity. The renal tubular magnesium reabsorption that recovers the magnesium stress hormones caused to be excreted, and the bone magnesium exchange that maintains skeletal magnesium stores all occur predominantly during the overnight hours. Placing supplemental magnesium in circulation 30 minutes before sleep provides the substrate for these overnight repletion processes at the moment when they are most active. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Every night, 30 minutes before bed, dissolve 200 milligrams of magnesium glycinate in 300 milliliters of warm water. Add 1 teaspoon of raw honey, glycine from the magnesium glycinate, and the honey's small glucose release together facilitate the sleep-onset neurological quieting that GABA receptor-active magnesium produces most effectively when combined with the insulin spike that clears competing amino acids, as established across multiple earlier videos. Add a pinch of nutmeg. Nutmeg's myristicin has mild sedative activity that complements magnesium's GABA-adjacent nervous system calming for sleep onset. Drink slowly over 5 minutes. 200 milligrams magnesium glycinate, warm water, honey, nutmeg, every night. This evening dose combined with the morning dose delivers the 400 milligrams per day that research confirms produces blood pressure and endothelial function improvements in adults over 50. Now, beyond blood pressure reduction, nitric oxide restoration, and cardiac protection, because magnesium water does 2 other deeply significant things for people over 50 that are worth knowing from day one. The first additional benefit is blood sugar regulation through magnesium's role as the essential cofactor for insulin receptor tyrosine kinase, the enzyme phosphorylating the insulin receptor and initiating the glucose uptake cascade. When magnesium is deficient, in 68% of adults over 50, insulin receptor signaling falls regardless of insulin concentration. The pancreas compensates with more insulin, fasting insulin rises, and progressive glucose intolerance accelerates. Magnesium repletion restores insulin receptor kinase activity through the upstream enzymatic step that all insulin-sensitizing medications attempt to recreate downstream. Research in diabetes care found magnesium supplementation significantly improved insulin sensitivity, reduced fasting insulin, and reduced HbA1c in adults with type 2 diabetes and documented hypomagnesemia. The second additional benefit is migraine and headache prevention through magnesium's role as the primary inhibitor of the cortical spreading depression and trigeminal nerve activation that produce migraine pain. Magnesium deficiency is documented in 50% of migraine sufferers during acute attacks. The connection is so established that intravenous magnesium is a documented acute migraine treatment in emergency medicine. Magnesium blocks the NMDA glutamate receptors that trigger cortical spreading depression. When deficient, NMDA receptors are chronically underblocked. Threshold falls, and migraines occur at lower provocation. Research in cephalalgia found daily oral magnesium reduced migraine frequency by 41% over 12 weeks compared to placebo. And here is the one surprising fact about magnesium and plain water that is going to completely change how you understand why the softened water in most modern homes may be actively worsening cardiovascular risk, without anyone who installed the water softener mentioning this to you. Water softeners work by exchanging the calcium and magnesium ions in hard water for sodium ions, producing soft water that does not leave limescale deposits. This removes virtually all magnesium from drinking water. Hard water contains 30 to 120 milligrams of magnesium per liter, a meaningful portion of daily requirements through normal hydration. Soft water contains near zero magnesium. Epidemiological research consistently finds populations drinking soft water have higher cardiovascular disease, hypertension, and stroke rates than those drinking hard water. Research in the British Medical Journal found communities switching from hard to soft water experienced measurable increases in cardiovascular mortality over the following decade. The people who installed water softeners to protect their pipes were simultaneously removing the mineral protecting their arteries. If you have a water softener, this protocol restores what the softening removed. Now let me explain exactly why your body needs magnesium water specifically after 50, and what stops working in your cells that magnesium directly restores. After 50, cellular energy generation faces a specific bottleneck that magnesium water directly addresses: the progressive decline of ATP synthase efficiency in mitochondria. ATP synthase is a magnesium-dependent enzyme. The ATP it produces is not free ATP, it is magnesium ATP, a chelated complex in which magnesium is bound to ATP's phosphate groups and is required for ATP to be recognized by every ATPase in every cellular process. Without magnesium, synthesized ATP cannot be properly released from ATP synthase's catalytic site. The enzyme stalls and production rate falls. And every ATPase that uses ATP, sodium-potassium ATPase, calcium ATPase, myosin ATPase, requires magnesium bound to its ATP substrate. Magnesium deficiency does not simply reduce energy production. It reduces the usability of every ATP molecule produced, an energy crisis at the utilization step, compounding the production deficit simultaneously. Research in the Journal of Biological Chemistry documented that magnesium-free ATP has 100-fold lower affinity for cellular ATPases compared to magnesium ATP, confirming that magnesium makes cellular energy biologically accessible. Every glass of magnesium water restores not the production of energy, but the usability of every ATP molecule already being produced. Remember the question from the beginning? If magnesium deficiency is present in 68% of adults over 50 and directly causes the arterial constriction, raising blood pressure, why does your doctor offer a pharmaceutical calcium channel blocker rather than the mineral that naturally performs that function for free? Because magnesium powder costs 5 cents and cannot generate pharmaceutical revenue. Because the calcium channel blocker, requiring a monthly prescription, keeps the patient returning. Because the meta-analysis of 22 trials was published in a nutrition journal, not the cardiology journal cardiologists read when selecting first-line treatments. The mineral performs the function. The research confirms the function. The cost is 5 cents. Every glass of plain water is an opportunity to add what your arteries have been waiting for. 200 milligrams. Lemon. Natural salt. Empty stomach. Every morning. Starting today. Here's what you learned today. When you drink magnesium water every day for 7 days over 50, 3 things happen. Arterial smooth muscle relaxes as magnesium displaces calcium from voltage-gated channels, performing the natural calcium channel blocking that pharmaceutical drugs charge $60 to replicate. Endothelial nitric oxide synthase restores as magnesium stabilizes the calmodulin-enos complex, producing the nitric oxide governing blood flow to every organ. And cardiac muscle improves as cardiomyocyte magnesium repletion restores sodium-potassium ATPase, ATP synthase output, and coronary spasm prevention. 3 methods. Morning fasted magnesium water with lemon and natural salt for morning blood pressure peak. Pre-activity magnesium plus beet plus cinnamon 60 minutes before exertion for triple mechanism nitric oxide. And evening magnesium glycinate with honey and nutmeg for overnight restoration. Magnesium glycinate or malate always, never oxide. 400 milligrams total daily, starting today. If this video gave you a real, practical 5-cent solution for the blood pressure, the circulation, and the cellular energy you have been managing expensively, please hit that like button right now and subscribe. Every week, honest science, practical protocols, affordable solutions for people who are serious about their health after 50. Tell me in the comments, do you have a water softener at home? And did you know it was removing the magnesium from your drinking water? Drop your honest answer below, because your answer helps another person over 50 understand that the most important change they can make to their daily health routine does not require buying anything new. It requires adding something back to the water they already drink. 200 milligrams. Magnesium glycinate. Dissolved in water. Empty stomach. Every morning, starting today. I will see you in the next one.